This is God's Quality Control, Series 15, Chapter 9. Jesus doesn't give a damn about the rule of law. If you follow the news at all, you may have heard about huge numbers of civilians being deliberately harmed in military operations. There's a name for what's happening: collective punishment. It's a war crime. Regardless of which side does it, regardless of their justifications, it's wrong. Jesus enthusiastically endorses collective punishment, not only when he salivates over the gruesome destruction of innocent humans and animals in the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, but also when he specifically names 5 more cities in ancient Palestine that will be punished for rejecting his so-called good news. He even tells a story about an angry king who sends his army to destroy a city in retaliation against a group of criminals who happen to live there. Sounds familiar? In Matthew chapter 18, Jesus tells of a king ordering the hideous torture of a citizen simply because the man's behavior offends the king. The man doesn't break any laws. What he does is actually something normal and fairly common. No trial is held, no investigation into the man's reasons or circumstances. The king decides in a fit of rage, and that's just fine with Jesus. Never mind due process. Never mind calm, sober reflection. In chapter 22, Jesus tells of another man who is tied up, hands and feet, made completely helpless and thrown outside into the darkness to meet his fate. Wild animals, robbers, frostbite, whatever. Why? Because the king is offended by the man's clothing. No laws broken, no trial. The king challenges the man to explain himself, but when the man is speechless from fright, the king doesn't appoint legal counsel. He just gives vent to his rage and hands down the sentence. It's not only in his words that Jesus shows his contempt for the rule of law. His behavior is, unsurprisingly, just like that of the kings in his stories. In chapter 21, he creates a huge disturbance in a public market in Jerusalem, violently assaulting the vendors and merchants there, vandalizing their property. He never shows any remorse over this outburst, never makes any attempt at restitution, and of course he doesn't. He feels completely justified in physically attacking random people just trying to get through their day, doing the perfectly normal and legal things they do every day, because he's personally offended by their behavior. In my next video, the dim-wittery of Jesus. Thanks for watching.